everyone, and welcome to another deep dive. Today we're diving into the legacy of Tupac Shakur.
Oh, this would be good.
Yeah, everyone knows him as a hip-hop legend.
Absolutely.
But we're going to try to go a little deeper than the music, right? Like, what made his message so powerful back then?
Right.
And why is it still resonating with people, decades later?
It's really interesting because, his story is so interwoven with what was going on historically at the time.
Right.
He wasn't just making music, he was reflecting and shaping the world around him.
Yeah.
In a way few artists ever really do.
Yeah. And it's interesting, too, because it's like we think of the 90s now, and it's kind of like this, romanticized kind of era, but it was really kind of a tumultuous time.
It really was.
When you think about it.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Think about it this way. Hip-hop is exploding. It's getting hugely popular. But at the same time, you have the crack epidemic devastating communities.
Yeah.
You have the LA riots exposing all these really deep societal wounds.
Yeah.
I mean, there was this palpable sense of unrest, especially in Black communities.
Right.
And that's where Tupac's music is coming from. It wasn't some ivory tower. This was lived experience.
Yeah, and that brings us, to 1991, the release of Tupacalypse Now. I mean, this wasn't just party music.
Yeah.
He was, confronting police brutality, poverty, racism, head on.
Yes.
Huge statement to make.
Yeah, absolutely.
Was that part of what fueled his rise to fame, would you say?
I think it was essential because he gave a voice to a generation that really felt like they were unheard. And so it wasn't just about the clever rhymes or whatever. I mean, these were reflections of real life, of shared experiences. And that resonated, especially with young people.
Right.
It was social commentary, but it was delivered with this raw passion and undeniable skill.
Yeah.
I mean, the guy could rap.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And he didn't shy away from difficult topics either.
No, he didn't.
Which was kind of groundbreaking at the time.
Yeah.
I mean, you think about songs like Brenda's Got a Baby or Keep Your Head Up,
right.
Tackling teen pregnancy and women's rights.
Right.
Stuff that people just weren't really talking about openly, let alone in the hip-hop world.
No, not at all.
Yeah.
And, by doing that, he kind of broadened the scope of what hip-hop could be.
Right.
It showed the world that, this is a platform for social commentary, raising awareness about important issues.
Right.
And I think that resonated especially with the younger audience who were hungry for that.
Yeah, they wanted to hear it.
Yeah.
Totally. And, I remember I was in high school listening to Changes.
Yeah.
And just being floored by the fact that he was able to, put into words feelings that I think a lot of us had but just couldn't really articulate.
Yeah.
It was like he was speaking directly to us.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's how he transcended just being an entertainer. He became a symbol of resistance, resilience, fighting for something better.
Yeah.
And it wasn't just through his music.
Yeah.
He lived that truth.
Yeah.
He was involved with activism and advocating for criminal justice reform, speaking out against poverty.
Right.
He understood the power of his platform, and he used it to try to make a real difference. It's amazing how relevant his music still is today.
It really is. You think about Kendrick Lamar, J. Cole, all these artists, they all cite Tupac.
Oh, yeah.
As a major influence. What do you think it is about his music that keeps it so powerful?
I think it goes back to that substance over superficiality thing.
Right.
He really showed the world that hip-hop could be commercially successful and still have a message.
Yeah.
It could still be a vehicle for social commentary, speaking truth to power.
Right.
And that's a really powerful legacy that inspires artists today.
Yeah.
They see that it's possible to make music that matters without compromising.
Right. And he wasn't afraid to challenge anybody
No.
or push those boundaries. You listen to a song like Changes Now.
Yeah.
And it's as urgent and relevant as
Yeah.
it was then,
Yeah, and the issues are still there, too.
Oh, they're still there.
Poverty, police brutality, these things haven't gone away.
Not at all. And his music gives a voice to that struggle in a way that...
Well, it's the way he delivered it, too.
Oh, yeah.
It's like that raw emotion, the vulnerability.
Yeah.
It created this connection with the listener.
Yeah.
You felt like he was speaking directly to you.
Yeah.
Sharing his truth and inviting you to do the same.
Mm-hmm.
And that authenticity is timeless.
Totally.
So it makes it resonate.
Yeah. And it's he did all of this in such a short period of time.
Oh, it's crazy.
It's you wonder, what else could he have done?
It makes you wonder.
If he had lived,
Yeah, but he still left behind such an amazing body of work.
He did.
And don't forget the poetry.
Oh, right.
Like we were reading, he had this whole background in poetry. Yep. And you could see that in his lyrics.
Hold
The
on.
way he used language, the metaphors, it's all there.
And he wasn't even just a rapper. I mean, he was an actor, too.
That's right. Juice, poetic justice.
Yeah.
I mean, he brought that same intensity to the screen.
He really did.
He was a multifaceted artist, and I think that's part of what keeps his legacy going.
Yeah.
He wasn't just one thing.
Right.
He was a poet, a musician, an actor, an activist. Like, he defied categorization.
It's pretty amazing. And then even after his death, like, the impact just continued.
Oh, absolutely.
Like, those posthumous albums, the Gun Illuminati, the 7-Day Theory, like, those are topping the charts.
Oh, no, it's like his message just took on this whole other level of significance.
Yeah.
That people clung to his words. It was like a source of comfort and inspiration in the face of that loss.
And it wasn't just music. Like, he was so involved in social activism.
He really was.
Like advocating for education, speaking out against police brutality.
He walked the walk.
Yeah, he did.
He wasn't afraid to use his platform.
He wasn't.
To challenge people to speak truth to power.
Yeah.
He knew his voice had power.
It did.
And he used it to amplify the voices of others, the unheard, shining a light on injustice and offering hope.
And it's that hope that really resonates, I think, this
Absolutely.
belief that things can get better.
Yeah.
He didn't just highlight the problems.
No, he didn't.
He actually offered solutions.
He did.
He encouraged people to fight for what they believe in.
Yeah, like you can make a difference.
You have a voice.
Exactly.
Use it.
Change starts with you.
It's really something when you think about how much he did.
I know it.
In such a short time.
Way too short.
He wasn't just a rapper, right? He was a poet, an actor.
An active.
A voice for so many people. And it's amazing to me how much it still connects with people today.
Absolutely.
Decades later, you know? It's like his message had this timeless quality.
It did.
It was like he tapped into something universal.
Yeah, like about the human experience.
Right, like struggle, resilience, hope.
And I think that's really it,
Yeah.
That's his legacy, It's a legacy of hope.
Yeah.
Like he took all that pain, all that struggle, and he turned it into art, into action. And it's still inspiring people today.
Yeah, it's like he gave us this blueprint, for how to make a difference.
You can be the change.
Exactly. And so as we wrap up this deep dive on Tupac, it really makes you think, right?
It does.
How has his message spoken to you? And what can we all learn from his life, from his legacy, about how to make the world a better place?